إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Hadith 20, one of the most important hadiths in Islam. Surely without it, you're missing a core principle of Islam. On the authority of Abu Masud bin Amr Ansari al-Qadri, may Allah be pleased with him, reported that the Messenger of Allah, peace and blessings be upon him, said, among the things that people before you found from the words of the previous prophets is, if you feel no shame, then do as you wish. Firstly, what does he mean by shame? Shame in Arabic would mean haya. The word haya is derived from the word haya, which means life. Haya means shame, bashfulness, and modesty. Without haya, you're essentially a dead person, and as haya is derived from it, it would mean that you are shameless. If you're shameless, you're a dead person. Why would a dead person need to care what they do? That is essentially what the Prophet means. But if you feel no shame, do as you wish. There are 4 types of shame. Shame towards Allah, His angels, yourself, and others around you. There are many ways to use shame for good, such as when you're praying, do you feel shame that you're not saying better du'as, making it longer, standing up long, preparing for the day of judgment? Do you feel shame for not praying on time, praying when you're supposed to, fasting on Ramadan? Those are many ways to use good haya. A way to misuse haya is when you're in a group and there's people back talking or using your phone during the khutbah or any khutbah in the matter. As you feel shame, as Allah and the angels are watching you as you're blatantly ignoring the rules and doing as you wish purely for your own sake. Surely those without any shame do zero. Now the ways to increase your shame, if you feel that you are running low on it, remember, think to yourself, would Allah feel pleased if I were to do this? How would they feel? How would I look to them? What would they think of me? That is shame. If you do not care about any of those, you are shameless. Now, shame towards Allah. You should always be shamed for Him as Allah is watching you. When you are going to do something good or bad away from other people, that is shame. That isn't shame. You're doing something away from people, you should always be shamed towards Allah. If you're going to steal, would you steal in public? No, you feel shameful. If you steal in public, that's even worse. Does that mean that you feel no shame for Allah and you don't care if He's watching you? That is even worse. Shame towards angels. You feel shame for doing bad deeds, as the angels on your shoulders are constantly watching you. The most noble beings watching you do something that they would not be pleased or with Allah. Shame towards others. Would you go in a store and yell at the top of your lungs? No, as people around you, your family, they'd be ashamed of being connected to you, and shame towards yourself. If you were to overeat, you feel shameful that you ate too much. If you were to act rude, talk rude, you feel shame about the way you talk, the way you act. And lastly, there are ways to fix and misuse haya. Haya would also mean, as I said, life, and without it, you're shameless, right? Now, if you are shameless, how would you increase it? Like I said before, you would think of Allah, pray, ask for du'as for you to remember Allah. Remember what He thinks. Remember the angels. Remember everyone around you. Remember the things you can do or fix to feel less shame. Now, of course, all of us are born with a natural amount of shame from birth. Shame can change depending on your environment. Now, some people in some environments, they feel no shame, so they go walking about with no aura, no clothing, less clothing, revealing themselves. They feel no shame for themselves. That is one of the ones I'm missing, is shame for yourself. Now, one of the ways that you could deal with feeling no shame is to pray, ask for du'as, and do all of that, right? You can go to the khutbahs, listen, do. Now, something that I've noticed in a lot of people is that they say they feel shame toward others, yet, like I said, when they're not looking, they go and do whatever they want. Now, another thing that I've noticed in people is that when someone actually feels shameful, they don't just go ask Allah for forgiveness, they go out and tell people around them who they feel ashamed of next to. They ask forgiveness. Will you forgive me? I'm sorry, I'll do better. Or they go and just cry. For example, if your neighbor next to you is starving, you should feel shameful as you're eating happily during Ramadan, breaking your fast, whether people next to you, that are your literal neighbors, are hungry, have very little to eat, have no dates to break their fast with. You should feel shame as they live next to you, you live next to them. You should always feel shame towards stuff like that. So if you can, you would have to go be a good neighbor. You know, I'm sure as one of the Pasadis, they talked about how you should treat a neighbor. Now, shame, like I said, has a very important to Islam. So this hadith can reflect to almost every other hadith, such as the neighbor one. And the first hadith, shame, such as where you travel to whatever you get, right? You're shame if you're traveling to, let's say, Mecca, and you're asking for forbidden stuff like to get more alcohol, to get any of that. Don't you feel shame? Like your intentions matter. Shame can play, although it doesn't seem like it or you realize much times, shame plays an important role on your intentions. Depending on that shame you have, your intentions can be pure or impure without you even realizing it. Which is why, before you do anything good, ask Allah for forgiveness, ask Allah for more shame for yourself. Think of Allah so that later when you make the intention, do any of that, you can feel more secure, more that your intention is being counted, more that you have the right intention, more that you're doing the right thing. And now, alhamdulillah, salatu.
جزاك الله خير.